that guy liner look. I'm not really into it. Bruce Wayne is like a calculated, cold businessman. So I don't know about this. Jeff, what do you think when you saw it?
It's getting a little dark for me.
Yeah,
you know, the Joker the Joker was way too dark for me, and now Batman's even getting dark, and I don't just mean dark in the sense of like, it's hard to see as well. I don't know, I'm getting older, so my opinion's changing, but I don't know, Batman used to be like this ladies' man, Bruce Wayne, but now a ladies' man is now considered a womanizer. Now Batman's in the band Nirvana, so I don't know what's going on here.
Someone wrote to me, it looks like he's in Panic at the Disco, which is like an emo band. I don't see, again, my Bruce Wayne is not an emo dude. Al, are you okay with this? And did you like the Penguin?
You know, I think the bigger question we're missing here, guys, is like, why does anybody still live in Gotham City? I mean, honestly, like after what's happened, I would say over the last 10 years, move. Like just move out to the suburbs. There's a frozen yogurt and it's quiet, good school systems. Why does anybody still live in? It must be really fun.
That is so funny. Someone once said to me, in Murder, She Wrote, you know, Angela Lansbury, they're like, don't hang out with her because every day there's a murder here. Let's just get away from her.
That's a good point.
That is really funny. Ben Affleck, just so you guys know, is going to be replaying Batman in the new Flash movie, which is exciting if you liked him. And we got a new Wonder Woman trailer out for 1984, which looks really awesome. That's Kristen Wiig, of course, of Cheetah against Gal Gadot, which is, of course, Wonder Woman. I cannot wait for that. Huge fan. Huge fan.
I just like period pieces as well, Jeff. I kind of like you know what's weird is anything that's set in the 80s, especially early 80s, I'm a big fan of those model of cars. So I always look at the extras, like the cars that are parked on the street, because I like early 80s car models. Sorry.
You're so cool, Al.
That's what I like.
Cool. All right, we're moving on to this story, which is actually taking a turn a little more serious. T.I. is coming to Meghan Thee Stallion's defense after she was shot. So last week, Meghan told fans on Instagram Live that Canadian rapper Tory Lanez was the one who allegedly shot her in the foot last month in Los Angeles. Tory has stayed silent on the matter, but now fellow T.I. says he should speak up. Take a look at this.
Under no circumstances should any man be, you know, accepted for shooting a black woman. Any woman. But, you know, especially black women. Man, I wouldn't let nobody be talking. Man, Tori, you need to say something, bro.
What do you think about this whole mess? Meghan Thee Stallion tried to stay quiet for a long time. Finally, she said, I have to come forward because the stories were getting mixed up here. Black men standing up for black women, men standing up for black women. What do you think about all of this?
To quote the poet T.I., you need to say something, bro. You know, something needs to be said, and I thought this was such a strange case because these are two A-list stars, especially in the field of music, and for one of them to shoot, you would think that would have been the biggest story 3 weeks ago, but the information kind of leaked out slowly, which I think was to Mr. Lane's aid because it wasn't just this big thing where she went on Instagram Live and said it. It was just kind of like corroborating evidence, and everybody's like, I think he did it, and then she said he did it, but everybody's kind of been playing with the story in their head for a couple weeks now, so I think that's why we haven't seen the huge kind of outpour that we would have seen 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I also think it's bizarre just about, I want to see more people supporting black women. Halle Berry has a tweet I wanted you guys to see that has come up. Peace, protection, respect for all black women, always. We stand with you. I also like this Michael B. Jordan's tweet that said, Meg, I admire your courage and applaud you for speaking up. We must support black women, protect black women, and believe black women. Jeff, what did you make about this whole story? First of all, when it said Tory was trending, I was like, oh my God, what did I do? It was not for me.
Yeah, I love how you circle everything back to yourself. That's amazing.
Even a shooting, Jeff.
I don't know. I don't know. She sets me up for like a question about herself, and I don't know where to go with this. I just find it amazing that somebody has to bring a gun to the Kardashians' house. Allegedly, that's where it happened, right? At one of the Jenner's houses?
Yes. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. A producer was in my ears. What is wrong with you today? You're so grumpy.
All right, whatever. This segment's over. Let's do the next subject.
He needs a timeout. All right. Don't mess with the town of Danbury.
I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what's going on.
It's a madhouse.
Don't mess with the town of Danbury. That's the message John Oliver got after he randomly lashed out at the Connecticut town on a recent episode of Last Week Tonight. Take a look.
Danbury, Connecticut can eat my whole I know exactly 3 things about Danbury. USA Today ranked it the 2nd best city to live in 2015. It was once the centre of the American hat industry. And if you're from there, you got a standing invite to come get a thrashing from John Oliver, children included, you.
Whoa. Okay, well, Danbury's mayor, Mark Boughton, did not appreciate his town being called out, so he fired back at the comedian. Have a look at this.
Behind me, you'll see the City of Danbury sewer plant. And we are going to rename it the John Oliver Memorial Sewer Plant. Why? Because it's full of just like you, John.
Jeff, what do you think about this?
Listen, I like it. If he's going to get clapped at on John Oliver, clap back. He's not offending anybody. I hope nobody was triggered by that. I have a mom that works at a sewer plant. Whatever. So I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was quite clever. I also thought the mayor stood up for his town. What do you think, Al?
I thought it was great. John Oliver does this. He picks certain cities and he just kind of goes in on them. This is just completely random. I don't think he knows anything about Danbury. But from watching John Oliver for years like I have, they love this kind of thing. They like when people respond to this. So, Jeff, I don't know if you remember, you're a big UFC fan. When they were talking about Fight Island, where they were going to have the fights, John Oliver was like, how stupid is the UFC? They didn't trademark UFC SEA and because it's Fight Island. And UFC, Dana White then went on and trademarked it and made a T-shirt, kind of tongue-in-cheek, like, "Hey, you had a great idea. You were making fun of us. It's a great idea." So I like to see kind of shows, responding to each other, and it's like a goofy beef. It's not anything where they're saying anything really bad.
But you know, John Oliver will go to that sewage plant.
Oh, yes,
for sure. Remember, I think it was in South America. They said the public could vote on a boat's name, and it ended up being Bodie McBoatface.
Yes,
the public came up with, which is great. Jeff, stick around. Coming up on DBL, it's a growing trend. Ordinary people are putting celebs on blast for their bad behavior.
Ooh.
DBL Nation, is that right or just karma? And check out our empty studio. Most of our workers are still producing from home during the pandemic. We'll be right back.
One car accident.
TikTokers are serving up a new wave of cancel culture by sharing their celebrity run-ins and then rating them. So here's the juicy post from a former New York City hostess that helped kick off this trend.
Next up we have Mrs. Bieber. This is gonna be controversial. I've met her a handful of times and every time she was not nice. I really want to like her, but I have to give her like a 3.5 out of 10. Sorry. Next up we have Kylie. She was fine, but she tipped $20 on a $500 dinner bill. Do with that information what you will.
Wow, that is not cool, Kylie. With the threat of being canceled, Hailey Bieber was actually quick to respond with an apology. Is this okay? I don't want to be rude, but I'm okay with this. You should treat people well.
Jeff is shaking his head. Let me hear from Jeff, because I think I have a similar take. Okay. Jeff, what do you have to say about this,
bad?
man?
No, yeah, I think it's terrible. I think if people start doing this, how would you feel, Tori, if someone ran, well, that's a bad example because you would love it, but a normal person who gets approached all the time, you can't just be running up on people with cameras and expect them, hey, Will Ferrell, say something funny because you're funny on TV. You can't just run up to people. You can't rate people. People have families. People have bad days, whether it's celebrities or whoever they are. They're going to have bad days. So you can't judge people and start making it like a thing that people are going to start posting to social media. I hate this.
It's too cancel culture, in your opinion, which I know you think is just awful. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Al, what do you think? You agree?
Jeff, yeah, I'm on your side on this one. And here's my problem with it. We're letting one person be the judge and jury and executioner on somebody's public persona. Like Jeff said, somebody could be having a bad day. And also, we don't know if they're exactly telling the whole truth. I've read things where I have been there with the person when it's happened, and the way that it's written is written from a slanted perspective because it's written by that person.
I know that's
If you and I have an argument, I'm going to write up a story where it's like I was just sitting there and Tori yelled at me.
Right, and I get that, but I guess for me, the tipping,
the tipping's not.
That's disgusting. That to me is facts, and if you're Kylie Jenner, that's embarrassing. Now, you're right. I don't know if that's true, and I already believe that person, so maybe that is false. But man, I get mad when you don't tip. I really do.
Right. It's bad, but you don't have to. It's sad. I worked in we've all been servers, the three of us on this show right now.
Yeah.
But it's up to your discretion.
Yeah.
If you're rich, you still don't have to tip.
All right. Well, let us know what you think. Next, this LA server did not hold back how she feels about the stars she served. Here's what she shared.
She looked into my soul and thanked me, and she tipped super well. Love you, B. If you think this guy looks like a it's because he is. Okay, so I served Conan twice in my lifetime living in LA, and he is awesome. He is honestly just a sweet dude, and he just treats the service staff like we're actual people. I live for it. Susan Sarandon had her dog with her, and we had to, kick the dog out.
Okay, so again, I just want to say here that in some respects, you chose to be a famous person. And if you chose to be famous and you go into the public, it's your choice to act kind or not. Am I making an argument at all for you to understand, Al, or does you still think it's
you're making an argument, but it's not your choice to have an article written about how you may have acquitted yourself during that situation. Like Jeff said, we've all had bad days, but at the same time, I don't understand the point of this except to publicly shame. Okay, we found out Tom Hanks is a good tipper. Okay,
yeah,
I just don't get it.
Jeff, you agree on this, and do you think things will ever go back to not being so cancel culture?
I don't know. I hope so, because I don't like the way things are. And who is this person saying, Susan Sarandon, no one cares who you are, dude. You didn't do anything in your life for people to care who you are. And if Susan Sarandon says something about you, guess what? Nobody's going to care. So why do people care what he says about Susan Sarandon? It blows my mind. And Tori, if you're having a bad day one day, you said you dealt with some things in your past, and a camera gets stuck in your face, you tell me how you're going to feel.
Yeah, it's a really, really fair point. I appreciate that point of view a lot. Coming up on DBL, celebrity stylist and TV personality.
Me?
No, Brad Gorski is on a new mission. How he's using his voice to fight a very common skin condition. Coming up next. Welcome back to DBL. Brad Gorski is a celebrity stylist who is spending his lockdown, much like the rest of us, in sweatpants. But he's also raising awareness about the skin condition rosacea. Earlier, Stephanie Jones caught up with Brad and Dr. Idris. That's today's DBL Spotlight.
Welcome Brad Gorski and Dr. Idris to Daily Blast Live. Now before we get started, we need to have a quick check-in. How have things been for you both during the pandemic? Because, well, Brad, it's clear that you've got a newfound love for TikTok.
My secret's out. I have, yeah. You know, it's been a fun, creative outlet. You know, my mom and I have been kind of laughing about it because I just had discovered a bag of wigs in our attic, and I said to my mom, doesn't this remind you of when I was a kid and I would just be like making clothes out of bed sheets and whatever and putting on shows? And she was like, yes, but now, you know, you're doing multiple wig changes and posting it online, so there's a little bit of a bigger audience, but it's been really fun.
I love it. Who's at home style? I've got to ask this question. Which celeb have you been most and least impressed with? Because let's be honest, the Lululemons have been out in full force in my apartment.
You know, I think it's an interesting time for fashion. You know, we were having this big luxe moment, and now I think that, you know, in quarantine, people are discovering different ways to be comfortable. I think the athleisure trend is obviously exploding, and I think it's a very interesting time right now, and I'm as guilty as you are. I'm not in my Lululemons, but I'm definitely in a version of that.
Dr. Idris,
Yeah.
what do you wear? If you're at home, do you do consultations in your scrubs? Or like, do you wear regular clothes like us mere mortals?
It's Lululemons on the bottom and business on the top. So I'm glad that the camera can only keep it up here right now.
Okay, you're making me feel better, so thank you very much. Okay, you give me a bit of like confidence, it's not just me. The reason that you both are here today is to talk about rosacea. Brad, you work as a stylist, so you know how important personal appearance is. And how did rosacea impact you?
You know, rosacea has been a part of my life, and there was a time where I wasn't taking a lot of photos, my family wasn't taking a lot of photos of me, and you know, it would manifest itself in redness and blemishes and bumps, and not only can you see it on the outside, but I could feel it on the inside, that it was starting to affect the way that I felt about myself. And you know, it's really important to be a part of this Face Up to Rosacea campaign for me, because I want people to know that they're not alone and that there are solutions out there to achieve clearer skin, and that is through seeing your dermatologist.
Well, Dr. Idris, what advice would you share with people like Brad that have been like suffering from this? What advice have you got?
I think the best advice is, you know, go seek help, whether it's, you know, seeking out a local board certified dermatologist or, you know, going online we've actually put together this website, faceuptorosacea.us, that has a bunch of information at your fingertips.
Thank you both so much for talking with us today and raising awareness about rosacea. You've both been incredible. Daily Blast Live will be back right after this.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
By morningsave.com. All right, what do you have for us today, Stephanie?
All right, Tori, well, today's very special because I'm here at home and I've got an incredible Deal Blast edition because it's the best sellers of the summer. Woo! So these are the products that everyone wants. Okay, so first of all, this is the must-have wardrobe item of the summer. It's the Sienna Vella handheld garment and fabric steamer in a really compact and lightweight design. Now, normally, Tori, this is $60, right? But we've got it for $19, which means you're saving 68%. This is the Strive Fusion Bio 2 Plus activity tracker and a smartwatch. So it's a fitness tracker and a smartwatch all in one. You can get your text alerts on here, you can set an alarm, and the best part, it tracks all of your steps, your calories, it monitors your heart rate, and even tracks your sleep. Normally, this is $80, right? We've got it for $15, Tori, which means you're saving 81%. Now, we all want to look flawless, gorgeous, and this is the answer to all of that. So you get everything you could ever need with this, the Selected Cosmetics Instant Facelift. Now, this is a powerful combination of minerals and antioxidants that will firm and tighten your skin, gives your skin like a facelift. Normally, this little stick of pure gold is $300. We have got it for our viewers for $29, which means you're saving 90%. This is the Hypergear Mini Boom portable Bluetooth speaker. It's compact, wireless, travel friendly. It connects to any device you've got via Bluetooth. Now, normally it's $50 and we've got it for $10, so you're saving 80%.
All right, guys, head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. I put the speaker in my shower in a plastic bag, and I'm rocking out to Taylor Swift using the mic as the shower handle.
You put a plastic bag over the speaker?
Yeah, for like waterproofing.
Yeah, but what about sound? That's really what they do. You're muffling the sound.
Well, I'd rather have sound than no sound.
Well, why don't you just put it somewhere where the water can't reach? What are you, in a tropical bath?
It's a bayou in there. All right, DBL's new every day. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's very humid.